Gender, Power, and Images in Music, 1995 to 2009. The later part of the 1990s was a time of transition in music, fashion, and popular culture. A variety of music opened up doors for new genres and maintained some of the old. Grunge music was still moderately popular, and a new wave of Britpop crossed over to North America, most notably the Spice Girls. Contemporary R&B became established mainstream genres and featured many female artists. Mariah Carey, TLC, and En Vogue were among top-selling artists. Salt-N-Pepa and Queen Latifah established themselves as successful female hip-hop performers for the time. As the 21st century began, the music industry had found a new type of artist that executives could mold into a viable product to be marketed and sold commercially and globally. Artists were being controlled by their labels to the extent of what type of material they performed, the content of their lyrics, and how they dressed. Record labels are the silent power behind the image of the performer, whether the artist liked it or not. The label executives wanted artists to go beyond doing their gender to over-sexualizing themselves in order to sell more albums, concerts, and magazine covers. An artist is more valuable if they can sell Coke or Pepsi or any brand name. This type of practice is nothing new, especially pertaining to women. In 1956, Tina Turner, formerly known as Anna Mae Bullock, was only 17 when she met Ike Turner, a talent scout and music producer. He gave her a very grown-up look and dressed her in sequin dresses, gloves, and costume jewelry. Changing her name was also part of the package. Over time, Tina's musical talent would be overshadowed by the objectification of her long, shapely legs. Mariah Carey experienced the same treatment by her producer at Columbia Records, Tommy Mottola. The two were married for 4 years, and while she enjoyed success in her music career, Mariah grew tired of her image being dictated down to every last detail. She claimed she was kept prisoner in their home, and she divorced him in 1997. Power is a constant struggle for female artists trying to sell music in a male-dominated industry. Men have historically run record companies, making it difficult for women to have any creative or monetary control over their music careers. Artists such as Christina Aguilera and Pink, among others, were forced to portray an image they found were not true to themselves. Both artists have been quite vocal of the images they were forced to portray in order to establish their career. At the tender age of 18, Aguilera's first video, Genie in a Bottle, portrays her rolling around on a beach while she waits for the right man to unlock her passions and rescue her if rubbed the right way. For record companies, the suggestive lyrics and images were acceptable material for impressionable young teens. Her follow-up album, Stripped, in which she had full creative control, featured the songs Dirty and Fighter, were found to be too raw and raunchy for her audience, a demographic she had never claimed to be a role model for. For Christina, it was a separation from a bubblegum image to a newer found freedom of her own expression. The songs were her words, her emotions, and her creative outlet. Pink, frustrated by the same artistic stifling, reveals she had no connection with her first album, Can't Take Me Home. She refused to be categorized and stereotyped as a particular sounding artist, especially the pop bubblegum genre so mainstream at the time. Her second album, Misunderstood, had an edgier pop rock feel to it and contained songs like Don't Let Me Get Me. The lyrics in the song convey the struggle she experienced in her early career with her music producer, Antonio L.A. Reid. L.A. told me, you'll be a pop star. All you have to change is everything you are. Tired of being compared to damn Britney Spears. She's so pretty, that just ain't me. In 2002, Pink released her fourth studio album, I'm Not Dead. The lead single from that album, Stupid Girls, was a call-out to society's obsession with the unattainable image of perfection and the effect it has on the younger generation. In her music video for Stupid Girls, Pink did a parody of many prominent celebutantes, including Jessica Simpson, Lindsay Lohan, Mary-Kate Olsen, and Paris Hilton. These are the types of girls who have ended up famous just for being famous and possessing little to no actual talent. Independent female artists are often overshadowed as they choose to not be lured by the millions of dollars in exchange for their self-dignity and respect. Annie DeFranco is a rare example of how women can empower themselves. She refused offers from major record labels and created her own, Righteous Babe Records. She has complete creative control over her music and the rights to it. Her music deals with real issues of gender, sexuality, love, and war. Sarah McLachlan supplied a venue for women artists to display their talents when she created the Lilith Fair Tour, concert shows with only female performers. It is important for parents to be aware of the images in magazines and on television, and to let children know that these images are superficial and barely attainable by an extreme and unhealthy lifestyle. To change this warped sense of what is perceived to be beautiful, we must continue to challenge the ways women are objectified, commercialized, and devalued by those who subordinate them. Christina Aguilera's anthem, Can't Hold Us Down, written as an empowering voice, was quickly devalued in the video as her feature artist, Lil' Kim, steps into the video and rips all of her clothes off. A double bind rests here, as sexuality can be used to sell records, but if it is at the cost of the dignity of the performer, is it still worth it? Millions of dollars is spent on advertising to force-feed to the public what a male or female, man or woman, boy or girl should look like, act like, play with, dress like, smell like, eat like, or sit like. Gender is a set of characteristics and traits that are socially and culturally appropriate to males and females. The conditioning individuals receive from their families, friends, society, and the media is working when we allow ourselves to be defined by traits others deem as socially acceptable.